How can a player so commonly seen as a first-round quarterback be taken in the fifth round? How can such an impressive player have such a slide in the NFL draft? Shedeur Sanders, son of Deion Sanders, someone who was originally doubted when he came to Colorado, but became the consensus second-best quarterback in this year's draft class, behind only Cam Ward. He took a 1-11 college team and quarterbacked it to a 4-8 and then 9-3 record. He seemed like one of the best players in this year's draft and was commonly mocked inside the top 10. This is a story of how wrong even so-called experts can be and how a life can change in just a few nights. Shedeur Sanders started his college career at an HBCU, Jackson State, where he quarterbacked them to an 11-2 and a 12-1 record in 2021 and 2022 respectively, winning the Box Toro Newcomer of the Year, SWAC Offensive Player of the Year, and Box Toro Offensive Player of the Year in the process. However, when his dad and coach moved to Colorado, he went with him. Many people thought that he shouldn't have been the starter at Colorado, but after 2 years, those same people were saying that he could be the next great quarterback in the NFL. Most mocks you'd find at the end of the NFL season had Shedeur Sanders at either 9 to the Saints or 21 to the Steelers, or even in rare cases, pick 3 to the Giants. He was a hot topic of debate on many NFL shows and podcasts, where many people had strong opinions on him.
How do you view Shedeur Sanders compared to all of the other quarterbacks? Break down what he would bring to a team.
Ian, he's old school, traditional. He really is. I look back at my write-up on Drew Brees when he came at it, 6'125". You think about the lack of great arm strength, talked about wind and...
Well, it was time for the NFL draft. The draft started without surprise.
With the first pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Cameron Ward, quarterback, Miami.
So the expected?
Then Shedeur's teammate, Travis Hunter, went number 2 to Jacksonville.
The Cleveland Browns have traded the second pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And with the second pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Travis Hunter, wide receiver, defensive back from Colorado.
Then the first team that Shedeur was commonly mocked to had their pick.
With the 9th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Kelvin Banks Jr., tackle, Texas.
Well, that's fine. When he gets drafted by the Steelers, he'll be in a better situation with a better team.
With the 21st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Derek Harmon, defensive tackle, Oregon.
Okay, that's unexpected, but the Giants just traded up into the first round again to pick at 25.
The Texans have traded the 25th pick to the New York Giants. With the 25th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Jackson Dart, quarterback, Mississippi.
Most people expected the Giants to take Shedeur Sanders there. I personally thought that Jackson Dart would be better on the Giants, but still it was a very unexpected pick. But I don't quite dislike it for the Giants. That did mean, though, that because no other team traded back up into the first round, Shedeur would fall out of the first round. The next spot that it made sense for Shedeur to go was pick 40 to the Saints.
All right, with the 40th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Tyler Shuck, quarterback, Louisville.
Shedeur Sanders had almost 1,000 more yards than Tyler Shuck did last season. He had 14 more touchdowns than Shuck and only 4 more picks. And he did all of that on a worse team with a worse O-line. This has to be one of the worst picks in recent draft history. The Steelers don't have a second-round pick, and it's probably going to be to the third round before any QB-needy team is on the clock. Okay, the Steelers are up. This should be Shedeur.
2025 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers, looking to be dominant once again, select Caleb Johnson, running back, Iowa.
we're getting to the point where history is being made with this slide. If Shedeur falls to day 3, it'll be one of the first times that someone who was supposed to be one of the top QBs in a draft falls this far. Oh, I'm hearing 2 teams are taking quarterbacks at the end of the 3rd round.
With the 92nd pick of the 2025 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks have selected my nephew, quarterback, Alabama, Jalen Milroe.
Go quarterback, and they go Jalen Milroe. He is the 4th quarterback.
With the 94th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Dylan Gabriel, quarterback, Oregon.
Okay, I don't think people understand how completely absurd taking either Jalen Milroe or Dylan Gabriel over Shedeur Sanders is. Shedeur was a consensus first-round talent. Shedeur had the 2nd most passing touchdowns last season, while Gabriel was tied for 8th, and Milroe was outside the top 50. Shedeur was 4th in passing yards, Gabriel was 8th, and Milroe was 40th. This was all while Milroe and Gabriel were on some of the most talented teams in the country, and Shedeur had one of the worst offensive lines in the country, and only one real NFL caliber target to throw to. Milroe's team, Alabama, was one of the best rushing teams in the country. Oregon was 2, and Colorado was one of the worst rushing teams in the nation. They averaged a full 110 yards less per game on the ground than Alabama, and 90 less per game than Oregon. I guess what I'm trying to say is that Shedeur is so much better of a prospect than either of those 2 quarterbacks. Anyway, all of the GMs that had picks in round 4 thought that not drafting a first-round talent quarterback in the 4th round was a good idea, and he kept on sliding until finally, at pick 144 in the 5th round, the Browns were on the clock.
The Seattle Seahawks have traded the 144th pick to the Cleveland Browns. With the 144th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Shedeur Sanders, quarterback, Colorado.
This has to be one of the craziest slides in NFL draft history. I mean, sliding all the way from being the 2nd best quarterback in a class and being mocked inside the top 10 to falling to pick 144 has to be a first in the NFL. I hope that Shedeur Sanders beats the stereotypes of Browns quarterbacks sucking, and I hope he has a great NFL career.
Yeah!